The Tragedy and Triumph of Tyrion Lannister. Tyrion Lannister is, without a doubt, one of the most compelling characters in George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire and HBO's Game of Thrones. Welcome to the realm where dragons soar, swords clash, and secrets burn beneath the Iron Throne. If you're obsessed with Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and all the hidden lore of Westeros, then you're in the right place. Hit subscribe and ring that bell icon to join our growing brotherhood of fans, because in this channel, the watch never ends. Portrayed brilliantly by Peter Dinklage, Tyrion captures the imagination of audiences through his wit, intelligence, and vulnerability. He's not just the comic relief or the underdog hero, he is the embodiment of tragedy, politics, power, and resistance in a world that rejects him at every turn. From being an outcast in his own family to becoming Hand of the King and then Hand of the Queen, Tyrion's story is one of inner conflict, external rejection, and a persistent pursuit of meaning. Tyrion's psychological complexity, his relationships, his role in the political Game of Thrones, and his tragic descent from wisdom to disillusionment. We will examine his evolution across the books and the show, his constant internal struggles, and the moral ambiguity that defines him. Is Tyrion a hero, a villain, a survivor, or something else entirely? Tyrion the outsider. From the moment of his birth, Tyrion is rejected. As a dwarf born to the powerful House Lannister, he is seen as a shameful reminder of his mother's death during childbirth. His father, Tyrion Lannister, never hides his disgust. His sister Cersei views him as a stain on the family's legacy. Only his brother Jaime offers him unconditional affection. Tyrion's physical stature sets the tone for a life of mockery and exclusion. He's constantly underestimated, insulted, and targeted. But this rejection fuels his greatest weapon, his mind. Tyrion learns early that he cannot rely on swords or brute force. Instead, he sharpens his intellect, using wit and words as his armor. His famous quote, "A mind needs books as a sword needs a whetstone," speaks volumes about how he prepares for the harshness of Westeros. Despite being a Lannister, he is never allowed to fully enjoy the privileges that come with it. He is both of the elite and excluded from it. This duality crafts a unique lens through which he sees the world, one full of hypocrisy, corruption, and cruelty. Yet Tyrion also develops an acute empathy for other outcasts, bastards, cripples, prostitutes, and even enemies. Tyrion the strategist. Tyrion's rise begins when he is forced to navigate deadly politics. During his time as Hand of the King to Joffrey Baratheon, Tyrion demonstrates a gift for strategy and diplomacy. In a court filled with backstabbers, he thrives, outwitting his enemies and tightening the Lannister grip on King's Landing. The pinnacle of Tyrion's strategic success is the Battle of Blackwater. Despite limited resources, he engineers a plan involving wildfire that saves the city. It's a turning point. The dwarf mocked as the imp becomes a hero of war. Yet, Tyrion receives no credit. Tywin Lannister rides in at the last moment and claims the victory. This teaches Tyrion a harsh lesson. Accomplishments mean little when others control the narrative. Tyrion's strategic mind is also visible in his political games. He deftly manipulates rivals like Pycelle, Varys, and Littlefinger, identifying leaks in the small council and maneuvering through layers of deceit. Yet, in the end, his efforts often fall short, not due to a lack of intelligence, but because power in Westeros is dictated more by name, blood, and force than by merit. Still, Tyrion enjoys fleeting moments of brilliance. His ability to read people and scenarios keeps him alive. His humor disarms foes, his loyalty to those he loves makes him endearing, and his ability to analyze risk makes him invaluable. Tyrion the lover and the broken. One of Tyrion's most heartbreaking arcs involves his relationships, particularly with Shae and Tysha. His love life is one of deep longing and brutal betrayal. In the books and the show, Tyrion marries a woman named Tysha in his youth. He believes she loved him, only to be told by Tywin that she was a prostitute hired by Jaime to give him confidence. This trauma leaves a deep scar on Tyrion's soul and warps his perception of love and trust. When he later learns that the story was a lie, that Tysha truly loved him, it's too late. His father's cruelty has already shaped Tyrion's emotional world. His relationship with Shae is also a tragedy. Tyrion falls for her, gives her comfort, gold, and protection. He confides in her, even bringing her to King's Landing against his better judgment. But Shae's betrayal during Tyrion's trial, claiming he kidnapped and abused her, breaks him. In a final act of personal devastation, Tyrion kills Shae after finding her in his father's bed. The act is a shattering moment, not just of vengeance, but of existential collapse. Tyrion is broken. He realizes love, for him, is often a transaction, bought or betrayed. These events turn him bitter, disillusioned, and self-destructive. His trust in people erodes. He drinks more. He lashes out. The witty, sarcastic Tyrion becomes colder, more detached, and consumed with vengeance. Tyrion the Kinslayer. Killing Tywin Lannister marks the dark turning point in Tyrion's arc. Patricide is a grave sin in Westeros, and doing so makes Tyrion a pariah. Tywin was not just his father, he was the shadow looming over his entire life. Killing him is both a symbolic liberation and a self-imposed exile. With a crossbow in his hands, Tyrion confronts his deepest wound, being unloved by the man who should have protected him. Yet, this act doesn't bring peace. Tyrion flees across the narrow sea, filled with guilt, rage, and nihilism. His journey with Illyrio, then Varys, and eventually Daenerys, is not one of redemption, but of searching. He drinks excessively. He considers suicide. He mocks the very idea of purpose. Tyrion's killing of his father ends one chapter, but it also removes the structure, however toxic, that defined his life. In seeking to kill his demons, he loses part of himself. He no longer belongs anywhere. Not in Westeros, not with the Lannisters, and certainly not in the world of dragons and fire. Tyrion and Daenerys, the last hope. Tyrion sees Daenerys as a second chance, not just for Westeros, but for himself. He believes in her vision of breaking the wheel, of creating a better world. He pledges his loyalty to her, hoping to find redemption by helping her rule wisely. But his time as Hand of the Queen is marked by mistakes. He miscalculates, makes poor strategic choices, and struggles to rein in Daenerys' darker impulses. He loses confidence. His advice fails to yield results, and he watches helplessly as Dany spirals into tyranny. The fall of King's Landing is the final betrayal. As Daenerys burns innocent civilians, Tyrion realizes his error too late. He confronts her, knowing he may be executed. His resignation as Hand is both an act of defiance and a plea for justice. In the end, Tyrion is once again forced to face the truth: he believed in the wrong person. His desire to do good has led to destruction. The very thing he tried to prevent, mass death, tyranny, injustice, happened under his guidance. Tyrion the survivor and the hollow victory. After Daenerys' death, Tyrion is a prisoner. Yet, he once again finds himself in a position of influence. During the council that selects Bran as king, Tyrion speaks the words that shape the future of Westeros. He is appointed Hand once again, despite his protests. This is a bittersweet ending. Tyrion survives, but survival has always been his curse. He's lost love, family, purpose, and reputation. The wheel has turned, but not in the way he imagined. Tyrion, once idealistic and sharp, is now a tired man burdened by the weight of history. He returns to being Hand, not out of ambition, but obligation. The scene where he straightens chairs in the small council room is deeply symbolic. He's trying to bring order to chaos, but the chaos never truly ends. Tyrion's ending reflects a central truth of Game of Thrones: the world doesn't reward the good, or even the clever. It rewards those who survive. And Tyrion is, if nothing else, a survivor. Conclusion. Tyrion Lannister's legacy. Tyrion Lannister's character is a tapestry of contradictions: noble and vengeful, clever and blind, empathetic and selfish. His journey from a mock dwarf to the hand of kings and queens is both inspiring and tragic. Unlike traditional heroes, Tyrion's strength lies not in might, but in endurance. He outlives his enemies, outthinks his rivals, and outlasts even his worst decisions. What makes Tyrion stand out is that he is real. He is not a flawless savior, nor a fallen villain. He's a man shaped by pain, capable of great love and great violence. He represents the complexity of morality in a world where good and evil rarely wear clear labels. Tyrion's most quoted lines, "I drink and I know things, let them see that their words can cut you and you'll never be free," encapsulate his defense mechanism: humor, intellect, and defiance in the face of cruelty. But beneath those lines lies a deep well of hurt, a longing for connection, and an endless battle for dignity. In a narrative filled with dragons, magic, and ancient prophecies, Tyrion is the most human character. His flaws make him relatable. His victories feel earned, and his failures remind us of the price of power. His legacy is not in the thrones he sits beside, but in the truths he dares to speak. He tells Varys that he has always had a tender spot in his heart for cripples, bastards, and broken things. That tenderness defines him. He may never be loved by the world he tried to save, but he remains one of its most vital voices. In the end, Tyrion Lannister is not the hero Westeros wanted, but perhaps the one it needed. A reminder that survival is itself a form of resistance, and that even those born into scorn can rise to shape the fate of kingdoms. Thanks for watching, folks. This was one for the history books. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into the biggest moments in Game of Thrones. Until next time, keep it locked, and keep it wrestling.